everybody! Since I've been doing the channel, it's been a tradition of mine to post a video of my annual birthday salmon fishing trip. And that was definitely the intention last year. I went out there, had all my cameras, busted up a whole bunch of salmon, and when I got back, I couldn't find my memory cards anywhere. Well, here we are several months later, and lo and behold, I found at least one of those memory cards down in a crack between the wall and my desk. So I do have a little of that video to show you. And there are no salmon around to catch right now, but I was able to get out and do a little bit of foraging. So check out the fishing video and then come back and I'll show you how to make this delicious seared salmon with beurre blanc and some fresh fiddleheads. Hey everybody! I am back once again to fulfill my birthday fishing tradition, which is to be down here on the Umpqua River busting up salmon. And it is a particularly freezing morning today. My fingertips are already numb. Nonetheless, I gotta get my butt down into that water, get down this river, and lay waste to as many salmon as I can find. Ooh. Oh, right in there. All right. Ooh, it's a chunk, a big chrome chunk. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? Oh, that thing has got itself wrapped up. That is a nice one. Completely wound himself up in the line. Gonna have to try and maybe spin it free. This fish has got a lot of juice left in it too. There we go. Loose drag, let it go, let it go. There we go. Unraveled, and now the fight is on. Oh yeah, baby. Oh my. Yeah, that is, I knew that fish had a lot of juice left. That is a strong, bright 10, 11 pounder. All right. Let me see if I can dig out my pliers. You know, I don't like to put these in the net if I don't have to. There's no blood coming out, so we're good. Of course, the bald eagles that live around here, they don't mind at all if I leave a floater, but that is never the goal. Oh yeah, that's not too bad at all. She's gonna be just fine if I can get a hold of her. There we go. There you go. That is a chunk right there. There you go. Get on out of here. Yeah. Oh yeah. Woo. Let's go. Yeah, that one, I would call it a jack, but it's big enough that I would have to tag that thing if it were a keeper. Is it a keeper? Let's take a look. Wait a minute. Oh! Holy moly. That is a keeper. What the? It's like a unicorn. Do I get the net? Do I get the net? Do I have a net? He's gonna shake it right now. That's a good eater right there. Yeah! Birthday keeper, baby! Whew, there you go. By the time You unwind one of those guys from the net, get your hooks all out of the net, retie your line, tag the fish if you gotta. I mean, you've burned 20 minutes of fishing. I gotta get out here and get some more. Oh yeah. Ooh, we got a wild one. Ooh, another chunk. Oh man, that's a big one. Big chromer. Big chromer. Digging. Just straight down. Digging. He is gonna see me and probably bolt right back for the bottom. Oh wow. Oh wow. My goodness, that is a thick silver. That's a 12-pound silver. Ooh, easily. Big girl. Goodbye. Woo. All right. Oh. Oh my gosh. He broke my line. Oh no. I cannot remember the last time that happened. Oh, I gotta wait. There's the lure. I was gonna say, I gotta wait for my lure to pop up. Oh, hot dog! Oh my goodness. That thing followed it all the way up to my feet. What is that doing? What is Psycho? Wrapped around the lip. You gotta go real loose drag when they start doing that. Not quite finished, huh? See you, pal. Nice. Yeah! One last shot at glory, baby! I'm on the edge of glory! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Big one! Big old boy right there. Come on! That guy is getting out there. And now coming at me as fast as they can. Another beauty. Woo! That's it. That's it. And scoop in the net. Theoretically, but no. Of course, this isn't a keeper. It's just a beautiful, big ol' end of the day buck salmon. Oh, see? Off like a rocket. Yeah. Well, that was awesome. And that is gonna do it for me out here today. Not too shabby for a dirty water morning of fishing. It's getting pretty late in the year for fiddleheads, but we had a big time storm over the weekend with a massive downpour of rain, and after that I was able to go out and get deep down into the base of the ferns, and I actually found a pretty good batch of some nice fresh shoots. Some real nice tight curlers like that. Now when you pick your fiddleheads, they're gonna have kind of a lot of fuzzy stuff on there, maybe some black hair, and of course a variety of insects. So you want to scrub them up really well. Most of that fuzz and stuff you can just rub off under some cold water with your fingers. And then you're gonna want to boil your fiddleheads. There's a toxin in these that can make you pretty sick, but you can neutralize it by boiling them for around 10 minutes. So we're gonna go well beyond a blanch with these and actually put a pretty good cooking on them. So I'm just using plain water today because I'm gonna cook these again and I'll season them at that time. But if you want to get some flavor worked into them in this stage, you can use some salted water here. So we'll just get those in the boiling water. Now once this comes back up to temperature, I'll set a timer and simmer these for 10 minutes. All right, after the boil, get those right out of that hot water and down into some ice water. Just cool them off very quickly to preserve the color and the nice firmness. Now after these have been in the ice water for a couple of minutes and they're all nice and chilled, they're essentially ready to go. I'll strain them out and give them one last rinse to knock off any of that loose debris in there. And then I'll let them drain really well, and then they're good to go. You can use them cold in your salads, or you can use them in any recipes you want, like the one I'm gonna do here in a minute. I'm gonna get started with a little prep work, and there's not really a lot to do with this recipe. I'm actually just doing this so I can show off my cool new knife. Check out that little beauty. Now this one was actually made by a viewer of the channel. He was very generous to send me this out, so I figure I'd do him the courtesy of giving him a little plug. And this was made by Old World Ironworks, and I'll put a link to the Instagram down in the comments. He's doing some really cool stuff over there, including this handy little slicer. So for my prep work, I just need to dice up a couple of shallots, and I'll also mince some garlic and cut up some fresh chive for garnish. I don't need to cut these very finely because I'm actually going to strain these out. I don't have any fresh salmon, so I'm actually using some farm-raised steelhead for this recipe today, which is not something that I am familiar with or have ever used. I will admit to being a giant fish snob, but don't hold it against me. I've just become accustomed to a certain sort of lifestyle. That being said, this is nice and firm, and that fat marbling all the way through the meat is not like anything I would ever catch out of the wild, so this, at the very least, is probably going to be pretty difficult to dry out. So to prep this, I don't have to do much. They've already pulled the pin needles, cut it into handy little portions. I do want to score the skin just a little bit to release some fat. Oh, they did leave the scales on there, which is not a big deal with salmon and steelhead. They just kind of melt away. But it does make it difficult to score the skin when you want to. There we go. Just a couple of spots through the skin. It's tough stuff. Sometimes I'll use a carpet cutting knife for this. And now I'll simply season both sides with a little bit of salt and some fresh ground pepper. My cooking situation down here is definitely not ideal for this recipe today. This is one where the fish and the sauce and the fiddleheads are all gonna come together and be ready close to the same time. So normally I'd be working 2 or 3 burners at once with this. But I've only got the one cooktop down here, so we're just gonna do this one in stages today. Just keep in mind that when you're doing this at home, you're gonna wanna have the fish going and the sauce started. And then when you pull the fish off and it's resting, you can finish off the sauce and then quickly saute those fiddleheads, and that way everything will be ready at the same time. But for here today, we're gonna get started with that salmon, and it's gonna be a very simple sear in butter. So I'll get my cooktop heating up to close to medium-high heat. Get in there with the butter, not being shy. That's a good couple of tablespoons of butter. Now with the butter, right when it stops foaming, the moisture's cooked out and you're ready to go. So get my salmon in there. I'm gonna go meat side down first. So I want to crisp up the skin at the end. There we go, and this salmon is right about 1 inch thick. That's gonna take probably around 4 minutes on a side, depending on how you like your salmon done. Okay. Moving it around a little bit in that butter to pick up some of the caramely bits and to keep the butter from over browning. I do want some browning on that butter because that's gonna give this some color and some nice flavor. There we go. Nice color on that right there. There we go. Nice crispy skin on that one. So if you like crispy skin, you're going to want to serve it skin side up so that doesn't get soggy. But this kind of looks better in picture, so I'm going to do one of each. Well, let's get these fiddleheads going, and again, we're going with even more butter. This is going to be a real butter lover's feast, so I hit that with about a tablespoon. See how that looks. As soon as we start to get some nice little brown freckles all over in there, it's time to go right in with the fiddleheads. Toss those around in the butter a little. Just gonna season those with a little bit of salt, some pepper. Use pretty high temperature on these once you get them in there. Now, once those are nice and heated through, we'll go in with a couple of cloves of minced garlic. And we'll let that garlic cook in there for a minute or so. And now, finally, once you get a good garlic smell going off, your garlic's all heated up, we're going to finish that off with just a little spritz of lemon juice. And those are good to go. Let's get that sauce started with more butter. Just enough butter to saute the shallots. I'll hit those with just a little pinch of salt. This is a classic Beurre blanc sauce or white butter sauce. So, once your shallots have softened up, go in with white wine. Nothing too sweet, nothing too dry. This is a Pinot Grigio, and I'll go in there. I don't generally measure. I'll throw a good cup in there, maybe a little more. Bring up the heat, and then we're gonna cook this down and reduce this way, way down. This has been going for a few minutes. It's already reduced probably by half. And now I'm gonna take the shallots out of there. I've already pulled a good amount of flavor out of them. And this is an optional step. If you want a more rustic Beurre blanc, go ahead and leave the shallots in there. They're not gonna hurt anybody. I'm just gonna take those out real quick. Now I'll get that wine and shallot essence right back into the pan and reduce that down a little bit more before we finish this off. Right about now, I'm gonna get in a little bit of lemon zest. And now we're getting down there. We want this to reduce down probably by around 3/4, but don't let it dry out all the way or there won't be any liquid left to emulsify. It's time to start adding in the butter, and we want to go very low heat on this. If you get this too hot, your sauce is gonna break, and it'll just be kind of a curdly looking mess. So, keep that down low, go in a tablespoon or so at a time to start, and whisk that butter all around in there. Whisk and whisk and whisk. Once that melts, hit it with another chunk. It'll start to thicken up on you. That's how you know you're doing it right. Another chunk. It's getting there. You could stop right there if you wanted, but not me. Boom. Maybe one more. Ah, yeah, now we're looking good. It starts to get where you like it. Give that a little taste. A little bit of salt, touch of pepper, and right at the very end, you want to spike this with some fresh herbs. Dill is always a really nice choice for fish. I've got some fresh chopped tarragon that I'm going to be using today. Now that is looking pretty. Just give that a minute for those herbs to heat through and we'll have a beautiful Beurre blanc. Now the sauce is ready. And this sauce doesn't keep, so you want to transfer it into like a thick, warm dish. If you do want it to be a little more stable, you could hit it with just a touch of heavy cream right now, and that'll hold the emulsion together for a little longer. But it's best to use it warm. Let's see how we did. Where to start? Let's start with a bit of this farm fresh steelhead. Well, it's got a nice texture to it even after cooked. That's a good sign. Just a little bit of that sauce. It is rich stuff. Check out that bite. Oh yeah. Not too shabby. This steelhead is pretty decent quality. And that sauce, that Beurre Blanc sauce works so well with, I think, any fish. That lemoniness, the acidity, mixed with the rich and creamy butter. Oh, it is so good. Fantastic. Oh, let's try our fiddleheads. Oh yeah. Oh, the garlic and lemon. That is nice. People often say that fiddleheads taste like asparagus, and for me, that is just not the case. They've got a very similar texture, but that taste is all their own. And that's good with the sauce too. Good score on these fiddleheads. Overall, this is just a really great dish. The pairings all work really nice together. It's kind of upscale enough that you can dress the plate really nice and serve that to your pinky out crowds, or you can make it as rustic as you like, and it comes together pretty darn quickly if you've got more than one cooktop. We are well into the spring out here now. The weather's turned nice. I've got my garden started. It's just about over for fiddleheads and morels, but there's a lot of great stuff right around the corner for me. And I hope there's some great stuff around the corner for you too. So whatever you're into, get out there and have the time of your life. Thanks for watching.